Society is lying to you. Say fuck it. What if the life you're so carefully building isn't actually yours? What if the goals you're chasing, the career you're climbing, the person you pretend to be, what if it's all part of a script? A script written by a society that, let's be honest, doesn't really care about your happiness. For most of my life, I followed that script. I ticked all the boxes, played the part, and it led me to this place of quiet desperation, a silent, internal scream that I just couldn't put into words, till I discovered the power of one single rebellious thought: fuck it. Section 1. The setup, the societal script. The script gets handed to us pretty much the second we can understand words. It's this slow drip of expectations that just seeps into our subconscious, and you know the one I'm talking about. Go to school, get good grades, but not too good. Don't be a show-off. Pick a sensible major, something that leads to a real job. Then you get that job, a safe, secure gig with a 401k and a clear path forward. Climb the ladder, buy the house with the white picket fence, or at least a condo with HOA fees that make you wince. Get married by 30, have 2.5 kids, and for God's sake, post the highlight reel on social media, the promotions, the fancy vacations, the perfect smiling family photos. Show everyone you're winning at this game you never even chose to play. This whole thing is sold to us as the one true path to a happy life. It's what's normal, but it's a lie. It's a one-size-fits-all t-shirt that slowly strangles the life out of anyone who tries to wear it. It's what philosophers like Nietzsche called the herd mentality, this powerful force that pushes us to choose comfort and fitting in over the messy, unpredictable, but way more rewarding journey of being an individual. Society, trying to keep everything orderly, basically trains us to be the same, discouraging us from being who we actually are. It gives us a map to a place we don't own and tells us not to ask any questions. Section 2. The agitation, the personal cost. For years, I followed that map. I was a good little soldier in the army of the mundane, and on the surface, everything looked perfect. I had the right job, lived in the right neighborhood, said all the right things at dinner parties. But underneath it all, there was this growing sense of just wrongness. A huge gap between the life I was living and the person I knew I was deep down. It's a feeling I bet a lot of you know. It's that knot in your stomach on a Sunday night, that low-grade anxiety that's just always humming in the background. It's the feeling of being an actor in your own movie, reading lines that just feel weird in your mouth. That's the price we pay for conforming. Look, our brains are basically running on caveman software. Our ancestors needed to belong to the tribe to survive, so the fear of being rejected is burned into our DNA. But in the modern world, that survival instinct has been totally hijacked. Now it just shows up as a crippling fear of what other people think. We become chronic people pleasers, burying our real feelings and desires just to avoid rocking the boat. We wear masks, hoping that the person we're pretending to be is more likable than the person we actually are. The result is this silent epidemic of quiet desperation. We feel like we have to change how we look or act just to be accepted. This constant self-betrayal crushes our self-esteem and leaves us feeling inadequate and nothing really matters. You're not broken for feeling this way. You're just waking up to the fact that the script you were given is a scam. You're starting to see that basing your life on what other people think is a recipe for an internal collapse. Section 3. The turning point. The fuck it moment. My turning point wasn't some big dramatic movie scene. It was a quiet implosion. It happened on a Tuesday morning. I was sitting in traffic on my way to a job I didn't love to earn money for a life that didn't feel like mine. And a thought, clear as day, just cut through all the mental noise. Fuck it. It wasn't an angry, burn it all down kind of thought. It was a declaration of independence. It was the exact moment I realized that my fear of what other people thought was the cage I had built for myself. I was more afraid of what some stranger or acquaintance might think than I was of my own unhappiness. The second I realized that, the absurdity of it all just hit me. The fuck it rule isn't about being a careless jerk. It's a massive mindset shift. It's about letting go of that paralyzing fear of judgment and taking back your right to decide who you are. It's when you consciously decide to make choices based on your own values and your own passions, not the random expectations of everyone else. It's the moment you stop asking for permission to be you and just are. You realize that being disliked for who you really are is so much better than being liked for someone you're not. This is the ultimate rebellion. It's the first, most important step toward a life of actual freedom. Section 4. The solution. Embracing the fuck it rule. Alright, so how do you actually do this? Adopting the fuck it rule is a journey, not something that happens overnight. It starts with small acts of courage. First, you have to recognize that most of these societal rules aren't laws of nature. The idea that you need a certain career or to be married by a certain age or have a certain amount of money. It's all a construct. People made these rules up, and you have the power to look at them and decide if they actually make sense for your life. Breaking away from them isn't about being a rebel just for the sake of it. It's about making space for your own definition of a good life. Second, get to know yourself again. You've spent years, maybe your whole life, absorbing what other people want for you, your parents, your teachers, your culture. Now it's time to listen to yourself. Get quiet and ask some hard questions. What do I actually want? What makes me lose track of time? What do I really believe in? What am I curious about? Journaling is great for this. Just write your thoughts down without judging them. The whole point is to peel back all those layers of shoulds and supposed tos and find the real you underneath. Third, start taking small, rebellious risks. Confidence comes from doing things. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow and move to a remote island. Start small. Say no to that party you really don't want to go to. Wear that outfit you love but always thought was too much. Share an honest opinion instead of just nodding along. Every time you do something authentic, you strengthen your courage muscle and you prove to your brain that the world doesn't end when you stop pretending. And finally, you have to intentionally let go of the need for everyone to like you. This is the absolute core of the fuck it rule. Your worth is yours. It isn't determined by anyone else's opinion. And trust me, most people are so wrapped up in their own lives they aren't judging you nearly as harshly as you think. When you stop chasing approval, you get a huge amount of energy back. Energy you can finally use to build a life that is genuinely, authentically, and unapologetically yours. This journey of rebellion is way more powerful when we know we're not doing it alone. So, I want to ask you, what's one societal expectation you're ready to just let go of? What's the first thing you're going to say fuck it to? Drop it in the comments below. Let's create a manifesto of liberation together. The promise of authenticity. Choosing to live by the fuck it rule isn't the easy path. It takes guts. It means you're going to disappoint some people. It means walking into the unknown without a map. But the reward is something society's script can never ever give you. Real freedom. The promise here is a life that feels right on the inside, not just one that looks good on Instagram. It's the joy of waking up knowing your day is going to be guided by your choices. It's the deep connections you make when you're being honest and vulnerable, not putting on a show. It's the incredible peace that comes when you finally stop running from yourself and just embrace who you are. It's a journey for sure, and it can be tough, but it's the only path to a life that actually feels fulfilling. You have to remember you are the author of your own life. Society may have handed you a first draft, but you're the one holding the pen. You have the power to cross out entire chapters, to rewrite the ending, and to create a masterpiece that is uniquely, beautifully, and authentically yours. So take a deep breath, look at the script you've been handed, and say the two most liberating words you'll ever speak. Fuck it.